the best, because that's who he helping. He's helping y'all. So look, but he's not fit to be the president of the United States because he's not thinking about the United States. He's like one specific culture, one specific. I don't even know if that's the perfect word, culture. It's just he's thinking about one set of class, and that's the upper class. He's not thinking about the middle class and the poor at all. Mm-hmm. That's why he's trying to take the middle class out. Is either gonna be poor or rich? So let me ask y'all this: what do y'all think about? Do y'all know anything about Dr. Umar Johnson? Do you know anything about that? So let me Umar Johnson. This is exciting. Dr. Umar Johnson is a Pan-Africanist. He solely supports any and everything black. He don't care about nobody else, and he's not concerned with nobody else in the world but black people, black men and boys, especially the ones that identify as black and brown. He called himself the king of Pan-Africanism. Now he said that black people, he just pro-black, and so I guess we could take this from him, but he's just like the loudest voice of this type of movement. But I want to say this: what do y'all think about people that's just pro-black in 2024? What do you think about people that's just like black this, black that? We black, we gotta do this. In 2024, what do you think about those people? But just name a time when it was ever about just blacks. Mm-hmm. So even if it is little, time right now, when has it ever been about just blacks? It's never been about any other race besides Caucasian. That's it. It's never been, think about, even if it was the Hispanics running around here like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the holiday that just passed where there was something going on? I'm not sure what it was called. You talking about Mardi Gras? No, it wasn't Mardi Gras. It was something else. I can't even think what it was called. But they was just like all the Hispanics walking the streets. It's never been a time where it was just about anything other than Caucasians. You know what I'm saying? This is the point I'm trying to make. So he thinks that he's building a school called the Frederick Douglass Academy or something like that. Where he just want to have all black people there, all black kids there, and he want to teach them about Pan-Africanism, about being black. Yeah. He want black girls to come there where they're natural. Yep. He want the pipeline. Mm-hmm. And he's just all about black people and making sure black people are successful, healthy, and mentally enriched. This is what he's about. I'm saying is 24. That way of thinking is outdated. The way Dr. Umar Johnson, Ifatunde, that's his whole thing. The way he's thinking and his whole thing, his whole narrative, outdated. It's not. That's not what it should be. I think separating us would be our downfall. Separating us from the rest of the world would be our downfall. I truly believe that. I don't agree. America, you got to think about what America is built on. America is built on merging of different cultures, of different races, of different people. You want to just be black, go to Africa. You want to just be German, go to Germany. But you also want to just be Asian, go to Asia. But if you want to be American, this is the land of the free. This is the free world. Absolutely. Everybody from across the globe comes to America for that purpose. We had a black man, then we got a black vice president. And now looking like she's about to be the president of the United States. We got more billionaires than we've had, more black billionaires than we've ever had in America. We've got black inventors. Black race, the dumbest race. That's why I say it. That's what my mom used to tell me. It don't matter what it's called, all types of stuff. But you know what he answered to? President Barack Obama. I get that, but also teaching the culture is needed. They taking all that out. Social studies is not talked about. They taking all that out of school for the black culture. They talk about Hitler, Adolf Hitler. What is he? A Jew? They don't talk about African Americans. What was Adolf Hitler? Adolf Hitler was a German. German. But, he killed the African Americans no more. Because they don't need to. That's holding us back. why are we gonna teach our kids about us being slaves and being under the boot of the white man?
It's not about being slaves. It's just the knowledge. They're saying that they need to still teach Black African Americans how to read, how to write.
And that part of history, slave movies, we can throw that in the trash. History, the social studies classes where they talked about how Black people was. Well, why are we not talking about? Somebody else said this. I don't want to act like I'm the one that's made this up. But why we don't talk about future classes? What we talk about? Okay, we ain't gonna talk about what we was. Let's talk about who we are. We are presidents of this country. We are star athletes. Star
He's a billionaire. You got Kanye, he's a relative billionaire. You got not even just entertainers. We got billionaires, Black billionaires. We got billionaires. We the Trump all of this. The step on all of this. We got Barack Obama and Kamala Harris as the presidents of the United States, the vice president of the United States. I truly believe it's time to do away with that history of our history. Jewish people, man, they ain't running the world.
So what about Black history, right? What about the museums? And then they go in the museum and they see all these Black people tied up and stuff and on this ship. What are you gonna explain? Then they're gonna be like, when was this? If we don't teach it,
that's cool.
We not gonna...
That's cool. You can keep all that up. That's cool.
This is America.
This is America. Leave that up. Yeah. So when people come from different countries and they come over here to this country and they're looking at this beautiful country and they want to know how this even was come to be, they can go into those museums and see it was built on these.
They can see that. What I'm saying is what DR.UMAR Johnson is doing is he's trying to create an institution where he's teaching Black people and separating Black people from the rest of the world and to be up underneath one roof. In the future, I truly believe the world will be mixed. The world will be mixed. It won't be Black people. I give you 100 years from now. Let's say 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 300 years from now, or let's say 1,000,000 years from now.
Because all these biracial couples.
So why are we still sitting here trying to teach our kids about us being slaves and about us need to do this and we doing this?
Every race needs to teach them about their history.
Every race don't do that. The Chinese community, they say they teach their kids how to be doctors, how to be mathematicians, how to be lawyers, and then they come over here to the United States where they're supposed to be and thrive.
No, you thinking that they just don't teach them that because
I don't think they're teaching them.
They still also pushing them to be great, pushing them to be, because learning something don't mean that you're going back in the future. It's just going, okay, like even with me, the reason why I don't want to vote for Trump is not because of what he's saying, it's because of what my people did back in the day.
That's the
Taking rights from women. I can't say I want an abortion. I can't.
That's different. What we talk is
trying to bring Black people under one umbrella. He's trying to put us up under one umbrella and say that, look, we need to teach our own, we need to build our own communities, we need to build our own schools, we need to do all that, we need to do this. I don't think we need to. I really believe that all these other races and cultures that's doing that's going to be their downfall. That's going to be their downfall. If you separate...
That's why they're going to have a feeling. With who? Hispanics?
That's why they all stand together and they do when they getting money.
No, see,
those folks
that's different. Money. That's different. That's just survival. That's just trying to survive. I'm saying, like, as far as the world view, that's why the Hispanics left their country. When you put yourself under one roof, you put a ceiling over your head. Mm-hmm. It was this experiment that I saw on TikTok where
the jar and get loose and all type of shit. And then when he put top on the jar and let the gnats stay in the jar, the gnats over time, over a couple weeks to a month, the gnats just hit the top of the jar, hit the top and stayed in the jar. Mm-hmm. But then when he removed the jar, the gnats never left the jar. They never left the jar. And then when the gnats had babies, guess what the babies did? The babies never left the jar. Even because so basically in that experiment, what it was showing is that when you put a ceiling over your head, it not only affects you, but it affects your offspring.
Mm-hmm.
So what Dr. Umar is doing is putting a top on that jar for the Nets. We're the Nets. He putting a jar over us and saying, look, this is where we at. So now we trying to leave outside of this to go to the rest of the world. We can't because he got a jar. He got the top on there.
Mm-hmm.
So after a few months to a year of us being in this jar, he took the top off. We never gonna leave outside of there because we like shit.
Go and they finally jump outside of that jar and they come over here. What do you think their kids doing? Oh, I'm going over. That's like us. That's like us leaving Detroit. I wouldn't have never left Detroit. It was a jar. My parents, nobody else
left and moved. It was a jar over our head, right? So when I finally left, that jar was removed, and it was over. Never thinking about leaving. Then once I finally left, you know who left after me? My sister. I'm telling you, that's the mentality.
I got a question then. So do you think that women would be so strong on fighting for our rights if we didn't know that it was fought for back in the day? Do you think like women that have? Because I feel like I just feel like it's necessary to know only because. Do you really think that women would be like? Because Trump could have been like, "Oh, women not gonna be able to get abortions. Women not gonna be able to do this. Women not gonna be able to have," but be basically house slaves for men.
Now look, I'm talking about Dr. Umar Johnson.
You keep saying that, but I'm still saying.
But this is what women do, president. I'm talking about.
And you saying that he doesn't want to.
And you keep bringing it back to women. So we're going to take it back to women. So it is, women are not together. It ain't black women. It's white women.
It's women.
White women put Donald Trump in office.
Everybody put Donald Trump in office.
White women joined their white husbands to put Donald Trump back in office. It's white women. Black women can be against him all day, every day. But white women are not standing with women to do what they're supposed to do.
But what's crazy is I don't feel like that's true because every person I've talked to about this politician stuff has been white. Every woman.
We got laptops. We can Google the percentage of people that voted.
We can go head to head for it. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep saying that I'm going back. Said that each Dr. Umar, whatever you're talking about, should teach the black people about black history. I'm saying, do you feel as if women didn't care? Because don't know, none of these women that's voting for Kamala is not voting for her because she's black. They're voting for their own rights. That's what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying. They're not voting because Kamala's black. They're voting for their own rights because he is trying to take all of our rights.
What
we couldn't vote. We couldn't.
Is that I'm talking
community, and you're taking it back to women's rights.
Because that's what I'm saying. Though, if we don't know our history, how are we gonna know that women didn't have a opportunity to vote back then? If they wouldn't have never taught me that, and I'm not talking about black people, and I'm not talking about white people or Hispanics or Asians, I'm talking about period. If I did not know that it was. That's what I'm saying. So is history needed? Yes. That's what I'm saying. So you saying people history, and I'm saying that history is needed so we can know what happened. That's what I'm saying. So you keep trying to say I'm bringing it back to women. No, I'm saying I'm pulling it all together. I'm saying that Trump is trying to take things away from women, and we couldn't do this. That I'm bringing it all together. That's why I'm saying I'm bringing it all together. That's all. I feel like history is needed because if I wouldn't have never knew that women couldn't do this, I wouldn't care about women's rights. But the fact that if I wouldn't have knew that we couldn't vote and we couldn't, you know what I'm saying, walk on the side of a street or use if I wouldn't have knew these type of things, you know what I'm saying, or not being able to walk on the sidewalk. If I never knew about it, I would have thought walking on the dirt dirt road was okay. And then everybody else, that's what I'm saying, be okay
Now,
with anything.
you saying this would make sense in the 70s.
No.
What you saying this would make sense even in the 80s. It's 2024, 2K24.
See,
To be concerned about drinking from a water fountain. It's not even many water fountains on the street no more. To be concerned about catching a bus, people Ubering now, people taking lifts now. To be concerned about walking on a sidewalk and in the dirt, it's not
about being concerned though. You missing it. You're missing where I'm coming from. It's not about.
No, I get what you're saying. You're saying if I didn't know my history, I would have never known this, and I couldn't do that. So now it's
yes.
Do you think that just knowing that I don't see how that's important.
I got the middle class and me growing up in Alabama, being in church every Sunday when I was a young kid. I want everybody to understand what I'm saying is I ain't never heard in biblical middle class. I ain't never heard of it in biblical terms. When they talk about biblical terms in the Bible, they talk about rich and poor. And they'll talk about in the middle. So
I'm just saying, man. I just feel like teaching our kids our history at this point.
I'm gonna tell them about Barack Obama.
Absolutely.
Before I tell them about, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I take that back. In some instances, it's important to. It's a difference between showing the history and the history. This was we was in chains, but now we got
absolutely.
We had chains on our wrists. Now we got $40,000 Rolexes on our wrists.
But if you now we're in 2024, as you said, right? You show a teenager in 2024, people in chains. That teenager gonna go do his own research.
That teenager. Now, what if that teenager become a radical? What if that teenager become a separatist, where he's like, no, oh, they did us like this. Forget all of them. That my son's 5 years old. That 5-year-old class don't know nothing about.
Show his kids that they used to whip. His grandparents used to whip us. They used to chain us up.
You thinking too young? Like yes, the younger.
That's where we got to start teaching.
But the younger generations is not getting taught this. They don't start getting taught this type of information until they in like middle school, high school, where they're more focused. You can teach a 5-year-old. Yeah, we was in church. They're gonna be like, what? They're gonna think it's funny. They're not gonna think they're not gonna take it serious because they're kids. But when you get older in the 2024 generation, these are the woke generation. They're not growing. Do this. This is what they're learning about.
Yeah,
right? That's what I'm saying. But if you know if I tell our son right now, yeah, son, go outside and step in the sun. I mean, in the grass with barefoot, you're gonna get energy. They're gonna go out there like this, but they're gonna be joking. They're not gonna really be, you know what I'm saying, reciprocating what we're trying to say.
You tell our son, hey, look, let me show you this book to where we were slaves and we was chained up and we was getting whipped and hung and we was getting chased down like cattle. From that point on, in his mind, damn, they better than me? No, because that's not what you're teaching. You're just going to show. You don't have to teach them that, yeah, they thought they were better than us. This is why they have. You could just say, this is where we came from. This is where we are now. And it creates an inferior complex. That's what I'm saying. That's what it creates. Because Obama is who he is because of where we came from. No, Obama's not who he is before we came from. Because Obama's who he is because he had a white mother. That's what people don't understand. It's a difference when you come from the culture. That's why the culture is a big word. You have to come from the culture. When you come from the culture, it's different. You could be black and not be black. Obama.
I know that white boy's mom is not teaching them this. I know that white person such and such is not doing this.
Yeah.
I know that white person such and such.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying that because we're black, we're teaching each other dumb. That's what
That white mother and white father is not teaching their kids about them hanging black people back in the days.
Because they don't want to teach them that they were out here like
they need
that.
to move them forward. The world can't move. So if that white people is telling their kids, not telling their kids about the past, and we sitting here telling our kids about the past, and our 13-year-old son, their 13-year-old son, and we done taught our son all about when we were slaves and getting beat on, and now our son got a chip on his shoulder, and they son sitting here thinking like, hey, dude, you're my friend, you're my bud.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go college together and share a dorm.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's
build a company together. Oh, I speak French and I speak Spanish. Hey, you know how to do math? Okay, I speak these languages. You're good at math. You're a good mathematician. Hey, let's put our knowledge together and let's build a company. And we done taught our son that we were slaves, all this type of stuff, and our son say, nah, I'm cool. And he go somewhere else because he want to do it by himself because he feel like I'm not equal to him because he gonna have the upper hand. In his mindset, he already behind. So we never ever teach him that stuff, and we just show him that. We don't teach it to him and don't drill it to him, and he just grows cool.
But let's keep it there. That's what I'm saying. Let's not go behind that. Let's not.
We're equal. We're free. We're equal. We're on the same playing field.
So let's just say about these little kids that's committing suicide. Mm-hmm. You got kids committing suicide because a white boy said, oh, your hair is nappy, or your clothes is dirty, or this is that. You got Hispanics standing, and I'm not gonna do white and black, but you got literally kids, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, Arabic, whatever. You got kids that's super, super mean to each other. And these people and then you got kids killing themselves. So do you think it's still so how do you go about that? Why is this person doing it? So if our son come home and say, hey, Dad, why is this boy doing that to us? What's going to be your response? Is it just going to be like, oh, they don't like themselves, or, oh, they just being bullies? Are you just going to say it's a bully? Like, you ain't going to have, no
time. It don't always mean that. Kids are... You
got kids imitating that, though. Black kids to go home and kill.
That's an at-home thing. That's an at-home kid. That's a reflection of themselves. If I'm telling a kid to go kill yourself, that's because somebody told me that. So that's an at-home thing.
And then what if your son say, "But why, Dad?"
Well, tell him, well, hey, son, you grew up in another household where your mother and your father love you, your brother love you, where we all shower you with love. That kid is not growing up with that. So you have to understand that, and you have to be mindful of that. And don't judge him for what he say, because he does not know.
That makes it different. Because like I say, you know what I'm saying, some people don't have fathers in the home, some people don't have mothers in the home. You know what I'm saying? So whatever information they're getting outside in the street, when their grandma we really still got. Yeah. Then grandmama held weight. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, hey, you might want to go out, go do whatever. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you can drop the kids off at grandmama's house. Man, shoot, grandma got a life now. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, grandma ain't keeping no kids. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the information that the person is getting, because, like I said before, when you got your mother and your
son, they don't know. They don't know what they're doing is wrong. They don't understand. How many things you did as a kid to somebody? Mm-hmm. Anything you could have did to anybody as a kid, and now you look back and say, damn, I would never. You know what I'm saying? You would.
Well, I tell you, my mom used to tell me all the time. You know what I'm saying? She'd be like, hey, they don't know no better. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know no better. She said, no, if they did, they wouldn't be doing it.
That's why I always say that the baby, he don't know no better. I said it about my dog. But just the baby, he don't know no better.
You know,
They don't know no better. They don't know. That's really what it is. They don't know until they get older. Then they realize like, oh, that's why as parents we got to be like, look, we got to be understanding enough to be able to show them and teach them like, hey, look, that ain't the way. Cause I only knew one person that grew up with his mom and dad in the house. Only one person, and I would say
having his father and his mom in the house. He was.
They right there.
They right there. You know, he had the best of both worlds.